I hear this every day. I see this every day. On my Minds.com channel, on Facebook, when I'm not being kicked off. I'm currently kicked off for 30 more days. It's my third 30-day suspension in the last 60 days. I also see it on my Twitter page. Part of the greatest lie of our generation, and this part of the lie I'm talking about is that the question I hear all the time is, Colin, what about all those mass shooters? What about all those white people doing the mass shootings? What about that school? What about that school? Here's what blows their minds. An article from the New York Times where it says, oh yeah, by the way, 75% of mass shooters are fellas. Here's just two recent cases.
And right off the top tonight, an update to breaking news we first brought you on Fort Wayne's NBC News at 11 last night. Police have arrested this man, 22-year-old Cameron Joyner of Fort Wayne, in connection to a shooting that left 3 people dead and 2 others critically hurt last night on Downingtown Drive. And we're told police are also looking for this man right now. His name is 22-year-old Gerald Pinkston. He's also of Fort Wayne. They say he is a person of interest in this case. So if you know where he is tonight or you have any helpful information, you're asked to call 911 right away. Good evening to you. I'm Tom Powell. You're watching Fort Wayne's NBC News at 5. We're glad you're here tonight. My partner, Linda Jackson, has the night off. We do have team coverage for you tonight. Fort Wayne's NBC reporter Louis Tran will join us live from the scene in just moments. He has new reaction for us tonight. But first, our Jeff Newmeyer joins us live in the studio with more on the new developments in this frightening crime. Jeff?
Yeah, Tom, often the first thing that comes to mind when you're talking about violence of this magnitude are the shooters still on the loose, capable of hurting others. In this case, there's progress in putting down the threat, but more work needs to be done. One arrest down, possibly one more to go. As mentioned, 22-year-old Cameron Joyner is in police custody. Fort Wayne PD says Joyner was nabbed in a traffic stop that took place near the intersection of Rudisill and Clinton Streets early Friday morning. Joyner faces 5 preliminary charges of aggravated battery. Expect those counts to be elevated once they are converted to formal charges in a matter of days. Just before 10:30 on Thanksgiving night, the holiday on Downingtown Drive turned deadly. 5 people were shot inside this home in a neighborhood just south of the Tolles Intermediate School. 2 men and a woman died at the scene. 2 other men were rushed to the hospital and at last report remained in critical condition. Besides Joyner, city police are trying to track down 22-year-old Gerald Pinkston. They're calling him a person of interest, but a department release says detectives determined he was involved in the shootings.
Pinkston should be considered armed and dangerous. If anyone knows his whereabouts, we would ask that you contact 911 immediately to report your findings.
4 of the 5 people shot were found inside the home on Downingtown Drive. The other victim was found outside the residence. The full story behind what happened here, not clear yet, but police at least have some idea about a motive. Detectives are describing the incident as a, quote, home invasion. Do authorities believe the suspects were after drugs, money, or something else?
Home invasion, and that's where we'll leave it until we're able to determine more. I mean, clearly, we're just a few hours into this, and I think we've made some huge steps. But we're characterizing it as a home invasion. If we are able to define that further, we will at an appropriate time.
Rocky Mount Police just arrested 3 people in 2 different murder investigations. Torrin Thomas and Armand Dozer, well, they are facing murder charges in the death of 33-year-old Nisha Pitt at the Terrytown Beach Bingo. This happened back on September 21st. 2 other people were injured in that incident. Both suspects now behind bars without bond.
If you read Mother Jones and Newsweek, they will confidently assert that mass shooters are white guys. It's a white thing, mass shooting. And you look in their article and you start pulling out threads to see how they define it, and they always have some really weird definition, like, well, this is a mass shooting where the definition of mass shooting is defined as a white guy that shoots a lot of people.
Please, sir, I want some more.
So they kind of define it in extremely narrow terms, and that's how they get away with saying something that isn't true on its face, but at least it has the added benefit of not making the black kids angry.